Pokemon Horizons Mega Voltage just ended off with a bang, so let's talk about it. The climax of this arc continues right where we left off in part 1, with the Rising Voltaclers struggling against the 6 heroes who are being controlled by Lockweon, and things are looking pretty desperate, not gonna lie. Not only is Pagogo taken out, removing the possibility of vanquishing the Lockweon, but the 6 heroes are back at full power, and they take out Liko and Royce to rastalize Meowscarada and Crocalor. So everyone is down to their last Pokemon. Nothing is going their way, until a Methio steps in, and it's revealed that he found enough Zygarde cells for 10% Zygarde. I'm hyped that a Methio is back, don't get me wrong, but this haircut is not it, man. Anyway, a Methio commands Zygarde to distract Coral and Sidian, who had been watching the battle from a distance up to this point, and he sends out his Ceruledge. So now we have some pretty powerful Pokemon on the good guy's side. A Methio Ceruledge, Roy's Lucario, Ult's Mega Dragonite, and Liko's Charcadet. Honestly, it was pretty cool to see Ceruledge and Charcadet team up, even if it was severely outclassed by these powerful Pokemon. It's great because even though we know it's not going to win or even really do much damage, this Pokemon is still a determined fighter, and Liko helps it remember old strategies that can apply directly to this battle. Again, it's not beating Gouging Fire, but it can stall and distract the 6 heroes while the more powerful Pokemon figure out ways to do damage. Speaking of which, I like Ult and Roy calling back to their strategy against the Steelixes to cause Moltres and Lapras to attack each other. Right when they go for the finishing blow though, Arboliva manages to disrupt them, and that's where the battle takes a turn back towards the explorers. Coral and Sidian manage to overwhelm Zygarde, which I don't like how they just brush past that, but all the other Pokemon get taken out too. Things are looking awful for the Rising Voltaclers, but fortunately for them, the 6 heroes suddenly collapse and the Lockweon stops affecting them. Apparently this was just a test run for the super strong spheres, so the explorers take the 6 heroes and flee the battle since they got their data. This can really only be seen as a decisive victory for the explorers because of this, and I honestly think it's a bit underwhelming of a climax to this arc. That being said, the rest of this episode is mainly set up for what's to come. But first, Dot finally catches up to the group, better late than never, and with her is Hamber and Cervantes. Seeing Cervantes and his son Amethio reunite for the first time was really great, and I like how they navigate the dynamic between the two. Seeing them make up and Cervantes agreeing to join the fight was really special. The last part of this episode was pretty powerful though. Ult was so paralyzed with fear during the battle, and that frustrated him a ton. So much so that he initially planned to leave the group to go train, but they all say they want to get stronger. That's when Briar finally calls them back and suggests they meet up with her at Blueberry Academy. I think overall this climax was a bit unnecessary. We didn't really get much other than a one-sided battle, but the setup was great. They've been teasing Blueberry Academy for so long now, and I've always wanted to see it in Horizons, so I'm really hyped for this. And if you want to know what happens next, follow me for weekly Pokemon Horizons reviews.